Happy high vibrations. And may your mind, body, and soul work as one whole. Today, we're talking about praying. And making sure that we're not being prey to a predator out there disguised as something good for you. Whoa. Please come back, don't leave me already. I know. Anything that threatens your comfort level, our spirits want to make us jet. It's about penetrating. It's about developing kundalini energy. That's what it's about. It's about what's behind me, the light. I have no control of that. Other than wanting to receive stronger message, I feel, I'm serious. This is not some kind of video prank. This is just light, energy, and you're getting it right now. And so what I want to show you is that when we pray, the way that we're taught to pray, we're canceling ourselves out. Okay, we're canceling ourselves out. We're giving ourselves an opportunity to become prey. And how we're doing that is by reducing our electricity to zero, to nothing, to non-existent, right? Imagine this. Imagine you being a battery cable, a booster cable. You got a south pole and north pole, a negative charge, a positive charge, right? You're hooking that to a source of energy that's already generating, right? This would be Earth. It's a magnet. It has a north pole and a south pole, right? It has a positive and negative. It's rotating, creating movement, taking in heat from the sun, producing, has animals and peoples moving around it, creating energy. So it's a magnet, right? So you're now praying, asking for energy, right, from your energy source, right, or God. But in my case, it's a supreme being. And I hope that's in your case too, if not extremely soon, right? But yet we're putting our positive and negative, they're coming in contact with themselves, right? See? Right? They keep putting in contact with themselves. And so what happens when you put a positive and negative, you put those booster cables, what happens? You hear a sparks fly, right? What happens when you do it? Sometimes you feel like a spiritual feeling, you get goosebumps, you feel that energy coming in. But then the source that you're connected to is dead. It's short-circuited, right? It's short-circuited. And so you're asking for energy and then your power source is being killed, right? So you're truly in your mind connected to a divine entity asking for power. There's no way in your world you're praying openly to Lucifer unless you're a Satanist or Luciferian or something evil works. You're brought up with all that kind of stuff. But, quite frankly, if you're a Christian, more importantly, if you're a protestor, Protestant, those are the people that recognize the devil, Lucifer, Satan as bad. They denounce that. Okay? They denounce it openly, have no business with it. Don't even think that it has anything great to do with anything other than death. It's the father of death. That's the why death exists. Life doesn't have death. Life is life. Right? So that's the only people that worship that. But if you're anybody else who just, quite frankly, has no time, for the Antichrist, Lucifer, Satan, you're a protester, right? You're protesting against that energy, that rule, okay, that governing body, right? You need to stop canceling your energy, canceling yourself out. Next thing we need to do is understand by putting our head down to the ground, bowing to the ground, put our knees on the ground, submitting and doing everything to the ground. We're not humbling ourselves to any God. The God doesn't work like that, because if you watch my videos, two of them, part 1 and part 2, I explain to you that the supreme being is a divine feminine that hosts all that exists. So the bad things that are in this body are toxins. They're poisons that need to be purged out. Now, these poisons want to take over all the good stuff. So cell by cell, person by person, they conquer. And they do that by dividing. They don't want a whole bunch of cells all together because they're nothing against numbers. They want everything divided into specialty groups that already battle against each other. And then the winner is a very small group that can easily be deceived because they've been powered all along by this evil force. Right? So we don't want to be canceling ourselves out. We don't want to be bowing to the ground and doing that because we're worshiping the dead. Okay, that's all we're doing is we're worshiping the dead. By routine, we put things into the ground, right? We worship the dead, okay? We don't want to do that. We're taught that, the devil is in the earth, deep down in the core of the earth, There may be beings deep down in the core of the earth, or there may even be a sun in the core of the earth, whatever the situation is, but we're brought up learning. Now, they want to come out with all sorts of scientific knowledge, okay, but we're not down for that. We're going to be connected to divine. To nature is our guide. That's why slowly but slowly nature, the nature of human beings, the nature of our behavior, the nature of the way earth communicates with itself is going clockwise, right? It's winding down. It's not winding up, okay? It's not creating any energy. It's losing energy. It's loosening, right? So we need to basically stop this. Okay, we need to stop this motion. Let me show you something. Okay? What should we do with our hands if we don't put them like this? Right? We see all sorts of this in the Shaolin and all sorts of different types of hand moves, but what you're going to do is there's two choices that I'm giving you. Is one, you have your hands out like this, right? So even though they're close together, they may be canceling each other out. They're canceling each other because you have something to give or you have something to get. But when you're with the divine feminine and you have denounced the evil works, you ask all your bonds, ties, and severs to be bonds, ties, and curses to be severed. What you're doing right there is you're separating. So intellectually, subconsciously, consciously, in every way, you're denouncing that. So you don't have to worry about you're giving any energy to Satan, or because you've denounced it, you're open with it. It can try to steal it from you, but doesn't have any energy from you, right? Doesn't have any energy from you, right? So we're gonna stop bowing. We're gonna stop putting our hands like this. Okay, the next thing you know, we're not gonna stop using the word pray. I'm gonna pray. No, you're going to inform. You're gonna program the frequencies in the airwaves. You got to think about something. The radio stations, your satellite, your Wi-Fi, everything like this is on a frequency. They do have wires stretching all over the earth, but they're not necessarily carrying the frequency. Okay, they're posting it up, forging it, but they're not carrying the frequency. The frequency is out there. Okay, the frequency is out there. It's on a wave that your brain can relate to. So you have to think that if something's coming in to you, sounds coming in, what makes you think on that frequency path, on that wavelength, your thoughts can't get out there. That's why we have the internet, for you to make sure that you believe that your thoughts are actually traveling through the internet by you broadcasting in this word. Like me right now, I have GoFundMe campaigns up, help Chris and Chris Jr. through Christmas, help winterize my farm. I denounce Satan. I have 3 fundraising campaigns going right now, right? I'm constantly updating my situation on the internet, right? Good times and bad, my challenges, right? I am not fighting reality. This is the reality that they want to put in my reality. Then I'm going to use that reality against this reality and make sure that my reality remains natural. So my fight becomes a natural one. When I'm not going to the bank. I've given up my Ontario works. I'm no longer on social assistance. I'm struggling. Okay, I'm struggling because I'm dedicated to make sure that my energy is coming from love. So when somebody buys my object, they not only believe in me, but they believe that it's going to benefit themselves and that it's helping me, right? So by doing that, I'm getting energy by somebody encouraging me, saying, you know what, I empathize for you, good going, keep going, great, you're teaching me a lot. That's energy. I'm getting energy, and by me thanking and doing something with that money and that energy that I'm getting, converting it into something that you can see in reality. Right? What's happening is it has an opportunity just from that one seed. It's like a plant growing. You're constantly looking at it and it's changing, it's growing, it's growing, and it's growing. Pretty soon, wow, you can take something from it. It has so much, right? Like a tree bearing fruit, right? That's why it's very important to find an individual. Yes, I would like to be that individual that you're supporting through donations or through sales of my EBBs, my chaga, my energy art, beautiful burrows carved, I have pyramids, all sorts of, energy devices and things. Chaga, kefir, kombucha, I just finished cutting a bunch of copper pipes. I'm making a bunch of EBBs. Strengthening electric magnetic field. So that when you're informing, not praying, when you're informing, remember what I was saying, you're informing, you're programming the airwaves, you're putting it out there in the airwaves. Okay, so that's why what comes out of our mouth now when our hands are like this and it's broadcasting, right? You see what do you see immediately? Your shoulders are back. Your hands are now positioned, at the width of your energy, your electric magnetic field. Your chest is exposed to your heart. Your intention is coming in and coming out. There's no way that you can bend down your head. There's absolutely no way, right? Unless you bend your body, right? Your crown remains right up. Everything is in line to be connected with Supreme Being, right? When you pray that way. This is how your body is, right? I'm going to try to stand up here. I hope you can see me, right? But basically, this is exactly how you should be. So whether you're sitting down, cross-legged or anything, your elbows on either side are touching like this, okay? And then we're putting our shoulders as back as possible so that our hands are parallel with our shoulders, okay? I'm going to try to, everything's trying to be square, okay? So now, what does that do? It gives you your full radius of your energy body, okay? And as I spun there, you're literally feeling energy winding up, right? I'm not telling you to pray by spinning, but you do whatever you want to do. But as long as your body's like that, there's no way that you can put your head down unless you're bending your body down. So they're not praying down into the ground. We're not limp. We're not like this and told to be meek and humble. No, because when we do that, we're becoming P-R-E-Y, pray. All right? We're becoming prey, and we don't want to be preyed upon, right? We are out there to devour the evil energy in terms of converting their magnetic charge. It's not something about going to kill flesh, right? It's all about converting the charge. So it's having a strong charge in numbers, seeing entities that are demonically charged, and utilizing our love life-based charge to manifest a method to convert their death-based charge.